How you doing? My name is Dr. Kinnis Gosha, and I'm the Hortenius Astronaut Endowed Professor and Chair of Computer Science here at Morehouse College.
Dr. Gosha, thank you so much for allowing us to be here on your campus today.
Thanks for coming.
Talk to me first about the computer science department here at Morehouse. What makes it stand out?
Well, it's one of the bigger departments on campus. Currently, when you count our CS, Bachelor's of Science, and our Bachelor's of Science of Software Engineering, we are the second largest department on campus with a little over 300 students.
Talk to me about the types of programs that you offer. You mentioned that you have 2 degrees that students can pursue here on campus. So talk to me about those 2 degrees and the types of programs that you all have as your curriculum here.
The biggest program is our Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science, pretty standard program. We really cover a lot of principles. We have a sequence of 3 coding classes when we get up to data structures and algorithms, when you really cut your teeth into computer science and be prepared for those rigorous technical interviews. We also have the option for a Bachelor's of Science in Software Engineering. So currently Morehouse has the first and only Bachelor's of Science in Software Engineering for any HBCU in the nation. Really proud of that. We have some really great faculty that teach in that program. We get more practitioners and students get more of a applied hands-on application of computing versus more the theory that's in computer science. And lastly, we have a minor in data science and analytics that was founded back in 2022 or 23, that time, that's giving students an opportunity to get into some computing, even across the campus in different majors.
Now, I'm not a computer science person for sure, but obviously computer is everything that you do every day, all day. So there are so many different options that students can pursue in terms of career after cutting their teeth, as you said, here in your department. So talk to me about, where does this program lead our students once they graduate from Morehouse and they have this education that you all have provided to them? Where can they go afterwards?
With a school like Morehouse, people don't think about this, but we're really a liberal arts institution. So what we try to focus on is making sure that students have a strong theoretical understanding of the theory as well as some of the programming in the program. But we push students and encourage them to participate in things like co-ops, to study abroad. Some of them go to industry and programming jobs, other technical jobs. Some of them go to graduate school. We really like that option when students go to graduate school to pursue a master's or a PhD, as well as entrepreneurship. A lot of our students catch on with local startups and even have their own ideas that they take to market in in that startup ecosystem in Atlanta.
That's phenomenal. So let's brag a little bit. Talk to me about some of your stories that can really share what this department is all about. Talk about some of your highlights of the department where folks have gone on to their careers.
Well, I think that the 2 biggest ones as I got to Morehouse in 2011, we've had 2 Rhodes Scholars that have been computer science majors, really great guys. We've also had one of the few or the first students to go on to Google in software engineering positions since I've been here. That's pretty new. There's a lot of other tech companies and the big FANG companies. We've had students go to Meta, Netflix, Salesforce, all the big Silicon Valley companies. We've also had students to go to really big graduate programs. We just had a student graduate from Carnegie Mellon that was at Morehouse a few years ago. We've had students at MIT, a lot of the big top graduate programs. So we're really excited about that. Of course, a lot of the folks that go to Georgia Tech that's down the street from us.
So they really are getting a phenomenal education here, and this really is a competitive program.
Oh, for sure. We have a lot of companies that work with us, collaborate. We have courses that we might work with companies to co-teach, their influence. We have students that go to other campuses and take classes, some of the MOUs that we have with other institutions. We have guest speakers that come in with really cool classes. Some of those classes may lead to certifications, so students get the class credit and certifications in that class. So we have a lot of really interesting and special opportunities for students to learn, not just the theory and book work.
Now, I will say that I'm a Spelman woman.
Okay.
Which means I know how unique and important the culture is here on these campuses. So talk to me about the culture of Morehouse and how the students really can glean so much confidence and what they really need to go out there and achieve.
We might do certain things that blend in the culture. It might be an assignment, it might be projects, it might be guest speakers, but we try to bring that culture into computing. We really want these students to use computing and not just to do computing for the sake of doing computing. We want them to really take this knowledge and go out and solve real world problems with it.
Dr. Gosha, computing has not been an industry that has had a lot of minorities in there, right? There's a lot of disparity there in the industry. So talk to me about how the work that you all are doing here is making sure that there are more minorities, more marginalized folks working in this industry that really shapes all of society.
No, that's a great observation. So through our seminar courses and guest speakers and other events and engagements, we try to make sure that alumni come back to talk to students. We bring other people of color to come talk to students and let the students know what they're getting into, what to expect. We don't want it to be a culture shock, and not having that heads up, not having that preview, if you will, can lead to a culture shock. So that provides a great opportunity for our students.
And you know, the big buzz term is AI. Does your program include AI courses or some level of AI where students can really kind of cut their teeth with that as well?
We have a lot of great offerings as it relates to AI in terms of elective courses. What we don't want to do is push too much AI in the core in terms of computer science, because that doesn't change. We want to do is make sure that we have some elective courses, because AI is moving so fast, the curriculum's not going to keep up with just those classes in the main curriculum. But in terms of elective courses, we went out and we got some great practitioners, people that are actually doing this in industry, that come help assist in teaching those specific elective courses. And those change every single semester.
Right. And from your adjunct professors to your guest speakers and your internships, because you talked about your partnerships, you all allow a lot of opportunity for your students, not just once they graduate, but while they're here learning as undergraduate students. So talking about some of those internship opportunities that you all offer.
Man, it's so many of them. We've had a lot of opportunities from companies that just knock down the door. I think that's one of the great things about Morehouse, is that the brand of the institution draws a lot of employers in terms of those looking for quality candidates. A lot of our great students have multiple offers. Our strongest students have offers in, let's say, August, September, October. They've already signed job offers for May. And so we want to make sure we keep those opportunities in front of them. It really starts with internships and summer research experiences. So what we would prefer our students to do either internships or summer research in the summer. We would prefer them not to take summer classes. Sometimes it happens, but it's not our preference. We really want to get them out and get that hands-on experience where they can take what they learned in the class during the academic year and apply it in real world situations.
Now, Dr. Gosha, I know that computer science this is your thing, right? This is your baby. Talk to me about how you first got into this industry.
Oh, man.
You know, I was going to hit you with a background question, but I am.
Okay. So at the time, I started college in 2005. I barely knew what computer science was. I knew I liked computers, and that was the closest thing to it. I thought computer science was making labels and business cards and things like that. I had no idea what programming was. Sure. And so once I enrolled in college and took those classes, I'm like, wow, this is actually more interesting than making business cards. So I just kind of stuck with it. I was encouraged to go get a PhD, and I was foolish enough to go get it, and it worked out pretty good for me. So I love my job, love what I do. But in terms of having a lot of coding experience before I went to college, I didn't have it.
So what does a good prospective student look like for the computer science department here at Morehouse?
Woo, times have changed. So they have, a lot of schools now have computer science offerings, AP computer science, other computer science courses. We encourage those students to get as much experience as possible. What happens is that if a student comes to Morehouse and they don't have that programming experience, it's a longer time for them to ramp up. And what happens is that they are less likely to get those top internships earlier on in the program. And so they can ramp up, they can take classes, they can get those skills, but do you want to take your first internship after your freshman year, or you want to take it after your junior year, right? So what we want to do is make sure that those students get as much exposure and coding experience and practice as possible. That's not going to be perfect for everyone. Every high school doesn't offer AP Computer Science and other CS courses, but we prefer that they have as much as possible in order to enhance their likelihood for better opportunities on the back end.
What about students who are more like a younger Dr. Kinnis Gosha, who they don't know much about computer science, but they're trying to figure it out, right? And they think, well, it may be interesting, but I'm not really sure. Explain, if you would, for those newbies or those who aren't really in the industry, what is computer science? What kind of world does it open up to you? Why is this something that you're so passionate about? Why should I be interested in this career?
Oh man, it's such a creative field where you can identify a problem and use computers to solve those problems, right? It's almost like this engineer, but you're behind a desktop. Um, applications can be an application can be on your phone. An application can be the phone itself and making sure that phone does certain things, the operating system of that phone. We talked about apps, you got websites, you have software for businesses, you got software for personal use. It's just so many opportunities as it relates to what you can build in those applications. And now with AI, it's even going into creative space, right? People are using AI to generate whole movies and media and all these kind of things. And so it's such a diversity of things you can do with AI now. You got e-learning, you have scientific research. It's just really pervasive across disciplines that it's just a good skill to have. Even if someone didn't have a whole major in it, it's just good to have some fundamental skills. And really, I encourage students to just look at what they want to do and see where technology fits within that. And maybe it might be a class that you take over here if a student didn't get a whole degree. But we definitely want to make sure that those students get as much exposure as possible. College is expensive and computer science isn't an easy major. So we want to make sure that the students are dedicated. They know what they need to know. They're familiar with that program. And so when they come here, they're ready to work hard and learn.
And you're ready to meet the students where they are. You all have, it's the second largest program on campus, but you all have a close enough structure to where you're really willing to work with those students and help them carve out what their future looks like, because this is not cookie cutter. Not everybody has the same.
And what's interesting about Morehouse is that we have some students that are coming in, they have tons of coding experience, and we have some that don't have much at all. And so we have a program that is flexible enough to accommodate both of those types of students.
That's wonderful. And then I just want to ask you, you proud of the work you're doing here?
This is my dream job. I mean, I'm one of the few folks that can say, hey, I went to school and I got a great opportunity at a great school, at a great city. It's my first and only job. So I haven't left. I love what I do. And I look forward to working with these brilliant brothers that have come around and selected Morehouse to be their place to get their higher education experience.
Dr. Gosha, talk to me about the post-bac program. It's a unique program. It's really an innovative concept that you've introduced here to Morehouse. So why was this program important for you to institute here in your center?
Our AI post-baccalaureate program is something that started in 2025. We're really excited about it. We know that a lot of students are graduating now and they don't have those AI skills that a lot of employers or graduate programs are looking for. We have a lot of support. We've had some corporate support. We had a lot of support from the National Science Foundation. And what we've used that opportunity to support those students. We try to get students that had some coding or technical experience. We don't want this to be their first time writing a line of code, but it's 12 weeks of intense learning. We did it in 2025 over the summer. We plan to do it going forward over the summer, but we really want to make sure that those students that graduate have those skills, but still need that AI jumpstart and that AI boost to be able to go and enter the workforce or pursue those graduate opportunities. The other thing that we're doing going forward that we didn't do in the first year was really make these tracks. And so we want to have this AI framework. We want to have some basic coding, but then we want to take these different tracks so that students can get a more specialized AI learning experience over the summer.
So we had the honor of interviewing some of the students just at the end of the program this year. But I understand that they went on to do presentations at a separate conference you hosted in Miami. Talk to us about that and how, I mean, it really just speaks to how you're giving folks the opportunity that they may not otherwise have.
Right. The conference was exciting, and the projects, these students worked on projects. They were able to use some National Science Foundation funded supercomputers to work on their research projects, and they presented their posters. Everybody was excited to see all of these great projects, and they did these projects in 12 weeks. A lot of these projects take a lot longer to do in the experience, and we made it work. This was the first year, and students got good feedback. A lot of them were interested in graduate school, interested in pursuing higher education, and we're looking at different jobs that they weren't looking at before. And so what we want to do is open the door and opportunities, right? Because students may have opportunity when they graduate, but is that the right opportunity? Is that in their interest and in their wheelhouse? We want to expand that and give those students 12 weeks. They got a stipend for that program. That was helpful, but we want to grow that. We have students and they can meet the needs of the nation's growing AI workforce.
The post-bac program, there aren't many like it, right?
Our post-bac program was the first of its kind. We were really excited about it, and we're growing it every year.
Talk to me about your research center and all the work that's being done there.
Wow, we have a lot of great stuff going on. Right now, we're aligning the center around AI. That's the focus right now. And not just fundamental AI, but AI in practice. How does AI impact the community? How can AI keep communities safe? How can AI help solve problems and solve those cultural problems? We have a great team. We have postdocs. We have some research scientists. We have a few grad students. And so they're working with our undergrads to go after and solve those big challenges.
Dr. Gosha, what does computer science mean to you?
Computer science to me means opportunity. A student can get behind a screen, a Chromebook, right? $200 and create code that can solve real problems. It's not a lot of fields that can do that. It's not a lot of specialized equipment, but with that opportunity that it can give someone that doesn't have the resources, the labs, or sometimes even the internet, it just opens up so many possibilities to solve real problems.
That's phenomenal. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.